Welcome to Inverkeithing High School Maths Department. Today we're going to be talking about multiplying by 10 and 100. Before I get to the questions, I think it's really important to highlight what I've got here on the right hand side of my board. I have what we call a place value table. At the top you'll see it has different letters and they represent different columns. The units column we've already spoken about in column addition and subtraction, as we have with our tens column. The column next to that is our hundreds column and then our thousands column. Importantly, our decimal point never moves. It always stays on this line between the units column and the tenths column. A tenth is part of a unit. And again, our hundredths column is part of a tenth. Okay? So starting on the left hand side, we have our biggest values all the way to our smallest on the right hand side. Now I've written down two notes, and these are in red because they're really important for us to remember. What it says is when we multiply by 10, we move our digits to the left one place. And when we multiply by 100, we move our digits to the left two places. So let's look at our first example. We have 34 multiplied by 10. So I'm going to start off by putting 34 into my place value table. We have 4 units and we have 3 tens. We're asked to multiply it by 10. So looking at my notes, that means I have to multiply it by 10 by moving it left one place. So I'm going to take my 3 and move that into my hundreds column. That means in my hundreds column I'm now going to have a 3, in my tens column I will have a 4, and in my units column I have nothing, so I'm just going to place a 0 in there. If you want, you can put in your decimal point, but it's not needed for this question. So 34 times by 10 is 340. Okay. Moving on to B. We have 17 multiplied by 100. This is very similar to A, apart from when we multiply it by 100, we move it 2 places to the left. So again, I'm going to start by putting the number 17 into my place value table. 1 10 and 7 units. When we multiply by 100, we move it left 2 places. So this one is going to go into my hundreds and then my thousands column. So I'm going to have 1007 in my hundreds column. There's nothing in my tens column and my units column, so I'm going to place 0 in both of these. That leaves me with 17 times by 100 is 1700. Looking then at some decimal questions, we have 4.6 times by 10. This means I have 4 units, so it goes into my units column. And I have 6 tenths, so it goes into my tenths column. Remember at the start when we said our decimal point never moves? That means it goes right in between our 4 and our 6, as you can see in the question. We're multiplying by 10, so we're going to move it one place to the left. Taking my 4 then, it goes into my tens column. That's going to give me 4 tens and 6 units. I can put a decimal point and a 0 in there, but we don't need it because it doesn't change your answer, which is 46. Again, another decimal, this time multiplying by 100. We've got 15.7. So that is 110, 5 units, and 7 tenths. Multiplying by 100, we move it to the left 2 places. Take my 10, move it into my hundreds, and then my thousands column. That's going to be 1 in my thousands, 5 in my hundreds, and 7 in my tens column. We then have to put our 0 to hold place, giving our answer of 1,570. Finally, we've got a decimal which has 2 decimal places. We then are going to put our 6 into our units column, our 0 into our tenths column, and our 8 into our hundredths column. This time we're multiplying by 10, so moving it 1 place to the left. That brings our 6 into our tenths column, our 0 into our units column, and our 8 into our tenths column, giving us an answer of 60.8.